Hello everyone, welcome back to CM42 TV. Today we are starting a brand new series. I'm always that guy that asks people what their favourite thing is of a certain genre. I don't know why I do it, I don't know why I ask. I don't know why I have so many favourites of a certain thing. But this is going to be the favourite Q&A. And every single episode we're going to pick a different topic. And I'm going to pick my favourites of different categories that I find online. And this one just so happens to be inspired by Star Wars. As I was scrolling through either Twitter or Facebook and I saw this Star Wars favourite challenge. I'm going to just make it a Q&A series here on the channel. Why not? I always ask people what their favourite movies are and their favourite songs are, things like that. I find it interesting. It shows you people's personalities, I guess. And I just feel like I'm one of those people that always picks favourites. Maybe that's a bad thing, I don't know. I'm going to try to do these somewhat quick fire too, not put too much thought into them, because then it just ends up, running on too long and stuff like that. But you know what it's like, especially when there's 16 questions like there is today, and you're really passionate about a subject, it could drag on. But the first one, here we go. This is the Star Wars challenge made by Roman C. Gershield. Here it's here. Starts off, here we go, this is it, the Star Wars favourite Q&A challenge. First question, favourite trilogy. This is a hard one because I like all three trilogies for different reasons. I'm going to go with the original trilogy as my favourite one for here because it's like, when I think of Star Wars, I think of Star Wars, honestly, in three different generations. I just do. So the safest bet, if you're going to watch classic Star Wars, is watch A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. I don't rate Return of the Jedi as much as the other two, but I do of course love 4 and 5. Now listen, see the prequels? I love the prequels, especially Revenge of the Sith. I grew up on them. They're the ones that I remember most fondly as a wee guy. So I would say the prequels are my favourite trilogy, but I don't know them as well and haven't loved them as much as the other ones. And then the sequel trilogy I love too, but I'm kind of like, I love them for different reasons. I like them more as individual films, I think, especially Force Awakens and Last Jedi. Not so much as a trilogy, because some things are a bit messier in there. So if we're talking trilogy-wise, what's the strongest bunch of 3 films? Originals is my pick for that one. Question 2, favourite couple? Does this need to be a romantic thing, or can it just be like a double act? If it's favourite double act, I'm picking Anakin and Obi-Wan from the Clone Wars TV series, and of course Revenge of the Sith mainly. I do think it's they're quite a good couple in Attack of the Clones. But if we're talking romantically, I know people would probably go for Han and Leia. I probably would go too. However, I have a soft spot for the Anakin and Padme relationship. Maybe that would be my choice. Question 3, favourite character from the original trilogy. Very interesting question. I'm probably going to go with, trying not to think about it too much, I guess Darth Vader. He's so iconic. I guess that'd be the one I would go with, because his story is the most important part of the whole Star Wars series in my opinion. But then again, you get people who like Yoda and Chancellor Palpatine / the Emperor in both trilogies, and Obi-Wan in both trilogies, Chewbacca in both trilogies. But I guess Chewbacca's more so in the originals rather than the prequels, and only pops up in Revenge of the Sith. And of course he's in the sequels as well. So my choice for favourite character from original trilogy would be Darth Vader or Chewbacca. Favourite character from the prequels, question 4. Favourite character from the prequels is my favourite character of all of Star Wars, and that is Obi-Wan Kenobi. Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan Kenobi is my favourite Star Wars character, especially in Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. I'm very excited for the Kenobi series. It's so funny. It's almost like with all these streaming services and stuff, we're just getting everything we've ever wanted. There's always been that fantasy booking sort of thing. Like when I was young and after I saw Revenge of the Sith, I always said I wanted an Obi-Wan Kenobi spin-off series with Ewan McGregor. I wouldn't have accepted it if it wasn't with Ewan McGregor because he's my favourite character. But then we got obviously the Clone Wars series and stuff, and I kind of accept that as that's the closest thing we're going to get to a spin-off of the Jedi. And then we've got the Mandalorian and the Boba Fett series and the Bad Batch and Visions and Rebels and all these spin-off shows. Eventually it was going to happen, and we're getting Obi-Wan Kenobi with Ewan McGregor. Apparently it's coming in May, probably going to drop on May the 4th. And then we have favourite character from the sequels. It's got to be Kylo Ren. I know that's probably going to be the answer that everybody would give. I love Rey, but really a big fan. I love Rey. I think she gets a bad rep, but Kylo is the man. He's my favourite character, and I also love Adam Driver as an actor. Question 6, favourite trio. Another difficult question, really. Favourite trio. I'm kind of tempted to think about the kind of Jedi Council, I like that sort of thing. Let me think, what else could there be favourite trio-wise? It could be R2, 3PO and Chewie. Could they be considered a trio? Probably not. They probably couldn't be a trio. Are you just going to go for what? You know, Leia, Luke and Han? You could do that, I guess. That's by default. I have a soft spot for the scene in Revenge of the Sith where Anakin and Obi-Wan rescued the Chancellor and they kind of run and they get stuck in the lift. That could be a favourite trio. Favourite friendship is either Han and Chewie or Anakin and Obi-Wan. That's more of a kind of brotherhood sort of thing. Friendship-wise, we'll go with Han and Chewie. That's a great friendship, great double act, and it's a sort of relationship you want to see in a movie like that. Although I think there is a lot of things to be said for the Poe and Finn relationship, and even the Finn and Rey relationship, since it becomes not really romantic, you know. So, favourite droid is R2-D2. It has to be, I think, is the true hero of all Star Wars films. So we can go with that without no questions asked. Question 9: who would be your Jedi Master? Tough one. I would like to say Obi-Wan, but look how Anakin turned out. I think the best kind of leader, father figure, who is going to be my Jedi Master, it's got to be Qui-Gon Jinn. I know it ends tragically, but come on, like just that kind of vibe, he's the man. Favourite lightsaber colour? I would always go blue, because I had a blue one when I was wee, and blue is my favourite colour. However, I always had a soft spot for the purple one. I went to Argos when I was about 8 years old. This would have been in like 2006 or 7 or something. And I wanted to get a lightsaber like as a toy, you know. And I don't know if anybody, if maybe you do know Argos, maybe, I mean, I know people in the UK will know what Argos is. But sometimes you would need to go to Argos and it's like a catalogue and you would put the number in and then whatever stock they had in the back of the shop, they would bring to the front of the shop and you got to choose which one of that product you got that day, because it's like the choice from the back stock. And I wanted to get a lightsaber and they brought out all these different colours. Red, green, blue, purple. That must have been it, 4 colours. And I'm sitting looking and I was like, how do you pick? How do you choose? Not only is it colour-wise, but the model is different. And I was so close to picking the purple one. But I went with the blue one because blue is my favourite colour. But I was so tempted to go with the purple one. And now when you watch those prequels, it's the same thing that Sam Jackson said, I think it was on the Graham Norton show. He was like, he knew he was going to be in this big Jedi fight in the Attack of the Clones. He wanted to stand out. He gave himself a purple lightsaber and he got George Lucas to give him a purple lightsaber. So when he's watching that scene, he's like, there I go, right there. So, there you go. Question 11, light side or dark side? I gotta go light side. I'm a babyface all day. 12, overrated character. For the longest time, I would have said Boba Fett. Now watching this Book of Boba Fett series, like I'm really enjoying the series, and now honestly I do feel a bit more connected to the character. But for years, I would think, what is the big fuss? Like people love Boba Fett. You know, he's got, what is it, 16 lines, if that? And the entire time he's in Empire Strikes Back, I think it's less than that. It might even be 9 lines or something like that. But it's just that kind of mythical creature. Then of course with this new series, we've kind of like seen what happened to him after. And all that stuff, and he's a lot more character development. You know, you care a lot more about him. He's becoming one with the Tusken Raiders and things like that. You know, much more appreciative of the character and of life. So, overrated character, I would say. Probably sticking to my guns there. I'm not saying I don't like the character, but just people, especially before the series, would freak out about him, and I don't know why. Then we have 13, underrated character. You know, it's a tough one. It's hard to pick because, you know, Star Wars fans are so passionate and like, what is your hill to die on? You know, it's underrated character. Darth Maul, I guess, but I get people love Darth Maul just from that short time. I guess I could say General Grievous or Count Dooku. Maybe I'd go Count Dooku because people kind of look at him as just as like a bad villain that is disposable. But yeah, I always liked him. I always thought he's that kind, because of his age, and he was kind of majestic and looked as if he would have been a good leader. Especially watching them through the Clone Wars series. And if we're talking that, you know, not everyone, you know, watches the Clone Wars and stuff. I love Ahsoka in the Clone Wars, so maybe she would be my favourite character. But people who love that show, like she's like the icon of that show, you know. So is that underrated? Maybe she's not appreciated enough, which I guess is the definition of underrated. Number 14, favourite ship. I love Anakin's ship from Revenge of the Sith, but best ship in the whole thing is of course the Millennium Falcon. I don't know why we're even discussing this. Number 15, saddest death. There's a few sad deaths. The death of Anakin Skywalker, I suppose. at Revenge of the Sith. I know he's re-emerged at Return of the Jedi, but that moment where he's transforming over and he's on fire and stuff, and Obi-Wan screaming at him, the death of their friendship and their partnership, that's sad. But if we're talking actual death, I think it's got to be Qui-Gon. It's always a bit of a tearjerker, really, when you think about it, and what's to come. You know the story of what's going to come and what's going to become of Obi-Wan after that and stuff, and he's like, train the boy, and you know what's going to happen to the boy. I guess that's really sad. The Han Solo death is pretty sad too. The Kylo Ren death is pretty sad, but for different reasons. The Yoda death is sad, more so because of how it happens. It was just like goes into sleep and it's like he goes into rest and stuff. That's quite sad, but he's also extremely old, you know, so he's a character that really suits. But I'm going to say, from my personal taste, saddest death that always makes me a little bit choked up is the Qui-Gon death from Phantom Menace. And last question, favourite cast member? I'm assuming that means actor, like behind the scenes or whatever. I don't know. I guess we'll say Ewan McGregor because he's one of my favourite actors, and just what he did with the character I loved. Adam Driver's one of my favourite actors right now, so it could be either one of those. But yeah, very interesting looking at these questions. For these videos going forward, I won't do as many questions, so they're a bit more quick fire. But again, as I said, this is like over 10 minutes already. When you've got a topic that you're very passionate about and you can say a lot about, you're going to probably drag on. So yeah, there's my favourite Star Wars categories, or favourite choices of those categories. Stay tuned till next time to see what the next favourite Q&A is going to be here on CM42 TV. Let me know your favourites. I would love for you to answer the questions along with me in the comments. Put 1 to 16, put your answer in. I would love to share with other Star Wars fans. Thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.